Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Thoughtful Leaders, an initiative under Thoughts on Education by Collegedunia.com. So today we have with us Mrs. Rutuja Samuel ma'am, HOD of Department of Interior Design, INIFD, South Mumbai. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure.
I would like you to begin by enlightening our audience with a brief introduction of yours.
Okay. First, I'll introduce our institute, which is INIFD South Mumbai. Basically, we are into both fields of interiors as well as fashion, and we guide as well as teach the students to become a renowned interior designer as well as to become a renowned fashion designer. And now, apart from this, about my briefing, I'm an interior designer as well as I'm the head of the department at INFD. And I guide the students over here for interior courses as well as I am practicing interior designer, and I have worked on to various projects, marking from Mark and Spencer's I have worked with Terminal 2 International Airport as a junior designer. I have done several commercials as well as residential projects. I think that's for now. I can give my introduction now.
So once again, welcome to the show, ma'am. So, beginning with the interview, my first question to you is, why do you like to be an education sector rather than health?
Okay. A very big question, I can say.
Yeah.
But educational sector is something where you help the students to grow. My agenda, as well as since the beginning, my agenda was to give a lot of information to people as well as much as I know. I want the people also to know that from the field. So educational field is something which satisfies my ego and which satisfies my need for the time. And I understand that educational system gives you a lot of exposure, where I am meeting the students, when I'm getting to know the students, I get to know a lot of things, I get to learn a lot of things. So it's not only my way around, but it's from their side as well, that, you meet such students, such insightful students, that you learn something from them. And in educational field, I see that, I can give knowledge to them, I can make them grow, the kind of field I am into, which is interior designing, which is filled with practical knowledge, which is like every time you will hear that once you start working on site, you will come to know everything. This is our slogan line. But I know that it makes a difference to guide the student in well direction and to teach them practically what exactly this field is. So I have learned from good colleges. I have done my bachelor's in interior designing from one of the renowned college in Mumbai. So I understood at that time that, a guide is something which makes you who you are. And I wanted to be that person. So that is my whole, thing is that is why I wanted to come to educational sector than any other sector.
That is so nice, ma'am. Moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. What is the key behind this successful career in this department?
In this department, the key is to become as much as hardworking as you can. Not think about anything else. Don't give up, because there will be a lot of times where you will give up onto this field. Otherwise, this field where it completely depends upon how much you are struggling. So the basic key is to become successful. First is never be ashamed to ask, because any field, I feel not only in this field but any field, never feel ashamed to ask a question which you don't know, because there will be times where you don't know about something and some other person may be knowing. So that a shame of yours will always stop you. So always be open for questions, always be open for suggestions, and there will be sleepless nights to work in this field. So totally, you have to be ready for it. So these are my keys to become successful.
So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. Being in such a good position of leadership, can you please tell me something about your leadership skills?
Okay. All right. Since the childhood, no, I have this one quality in me that, like, I'm proud of it, and I am not modest about it, but I can talk well and I can guide well. I have that quality in me which makes me a good leader, I feel. But I learned through the time. I looked at other people, I observed other people, and that is what made me understand is I need to be a good listener to become a good leader. So for me, it is completely dependent upon I should be listening to others and then giving my opinion rather than judging anyone, and to give a support, like any employee or anyone who is working with you. See, I never say that somebody's working under you, somebody's working above you. We all are as a team. So, and here in INFD also, we treat everyone like that. I am also treated the same way, that we work as a team. So that makes me a good leader, that we are on the same page. We need to understand that when you're on the same page, you work as a family, and that makes you an amazing leader.
So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. Tell me something about your institute.
Okay, yeah, sure. I have a lot to say about my institute. Okay, my institute, again, I'll repeat it. Its name is INIFD South Mumbai. And basically, we are into two fields, which is one is interior designing and another one is fashion designing. Both are very glamorous, both are very raw at the same time. So these two fields are much more prone towards learning through practical knowledge. So INIFD gives the practical knowledge to the students, and they teach the students about being a professional. So INIFD is a kind of an institute where you learn about interior designing. I say you learn from scratch, and you learn till the time you are finished with it, till the time you are totally groomed with it. And we have various types of courses with us, from degrees as well as from diplomas, every kind of a course, even in fashion as well as in interiors. We even have part-time courses for those who are working, working students. For them, we provide part-time courses so that they can achieve their dream at the same time earning. So this is how about INFD I can say.
So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. What is the best part of your institute which is different from others?
Okay. The best part about our institute is that we mold ourselves with the current situation. Like, I'll tell you that, there were many times I have been to other colleges, other institutes. I've taught in various colleges and other institutes. So I have seen that the same kind of a portion is taught everywhere. Even we have learned through the school, and even your juniors will be learning the same. Even your juniors to juniors also will be learning the same. But time is changing. Every day there is something new. There is something new coming in the market. There is something new happening in the entire world. So you cannot teach the students something which has been going on since past 10 years. So basically, our agenda is to change ourselves with the time, and that is what makes INFD the best to learn interior designing or fashion designing, is because we don't teach whatever is going on since the time being, since the era, I can say. So we try to give students more of a practical knowledge. We give them a lot of workshops to learn through. Is because when you're into learning and teaching field, so that time you see that every student have a different quality, every student have different kind of a phase, they learn with a different kind of understanding. Every student is not same, so we understand that and like that way we give various types of workshops, we give various types of site visits for the students where they can learn practically. So that is the best thing I can say, which makes us stand in the market, that INIFD is something which offers the students from the way they are supposed to be learning. So we understand every student in that way.
So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. What
Yes.
key change do you do in your institute for better outcome?
The key change,
Yeah.
as I said, that every day we are doing something new, every day we are learning something new. So this is how it is. The key change is basically happening every sector wise, every day wise. So there is no a specific key change I can say, but every day we are also learning, we are also grooming ourselves to become perfect. So I can say the need of becoming a perfect is our key change, that we want to be perfect in this industry which gives the best knowledge to the students in interiors as well as in fashion. So that is what the key change in us is, that we brought that attitude in us, which took time, but we got that attitude in us, that never be comfortable with whatever kind of working you're doing. You always have to be uncomfortable and not so comfortable in this phase, so that makes you that makes you learn, that makes you grow a lot. So this is how it goes with us.
So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. Which things do you
Yes.
do to make the healthy relationship with your students and teammates?
We have lots of different tricks for that, I can tell you. But the one thing is that you understand them. You understand your teammates, you understand your students. Many times I have seen that see, it should be balanced. Students are such a thing. Even every human being is like that. Where you give them leverage, they will take advantage. This is how it works. It is a give and take relationship. But you understand them well to know their problems. You make an effort. So that is where we connect with the students. We become the part of their life, because the most of the time they're spending in this premises, they are our kids. And you have to bond with them. You have to bond with them genuinely, in fact. And even with the teams, most of the 8 to 9 hours I spent with my colleagues, my team is entire team. So that time we make effort to know each other, we make effort to welcome them, we make effort to understand their problems. And rather than giving a judgment, I see that you should create a happy environment, and that is what we do to have that bonded team with us. So
Yeah. So moving ahead to the next question, ma'am. What is your definition of hard work?
my definition of hard work is something which you shouldn't be tired with. Hard work is something where you set your goal, you have to work through it, and you will get up 4 o'clock in the morning also to achieve it without feeling a single slight of a chance that, oh shit, I have to get up at 4 o'clock and I have to go. So no, hard work is something where you feel inspired, and hard work is something that every day you're working on yourself and you're working for the goal you want to achieve, and you want to make yourself a perfectionist. Nobody is perfectionist, I can say, but you want to make yourself perfect. So that is what the hard work is. Hard work, many people think that slogging yourself makes you a hard worker. No, nowadays, smart work and hard work goes hand in hand. So hard work is something you should understand how you're supposed to be achieving your goal, and towards that goal, those small goals you see, you need to flip them down each by each. So my hard work definition is very simple: give your best and become perfect. That's all.
So now let me ask you the last question for the day, ma'am. As we
Yes.
all know how this pandemic affected all over the world, education sector
Yes.
all over the world. So how does it
Yes.
affected INIFD specifically, and how is INFD dealing with this situation?
Okay. This pandemic was very bad for all of us. We've been home, not doing anything, and didn't understand exactly how we should really face it. But as it was difficult for us, we all are workaholics, and our students are also workaholic because the field is like that, where for teaching them a good quality of the work, you have to put them under pressure to make them amazing. So that pressure, when it got all of a sudden released, that time student became lethargic. They became, I say that they even became where they didn't know where to go, they didn't know what to do and everything. So the simple thing what we did was to communicate with our students on daily basis, where we kept their online lectures, and we gave them assignments where they what they can do by sitting at home. We gave the students one assignment where they had to design a small corner of their house, where by whatever things what they have at home. So they did an amazing job. So this is how we tackled the situation. Even in fashion department, we gave them few assignments where they had to dress up themselves, and they did a total fashion show, I can say, on virtual basis. So the students were very much enthusiastic when we gave them such kind of a work, and that put them into a good mood, and that their good mood put us into a good mood. So we also had something to work on to, and even they had something to work on to. So this is how we dealt with the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was certainly an insightful session.
Yes.
So
Okay. Sorry?
So everyone, this was Mrs. Rutuja Samuel, ma'am, HOD of Department of Interior Design in INIFD, South Mumbai, on the episode of Thoughtful Leaders and Initiative under Thoughts on Education by Collegedunia.com. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving us your time
Thank you so
to
much.
us amidst your busy schedule. We look forward to interact with you again, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was such a pleasure.